What is going on? Happy New Year's to you all. Should be live streaming now, all that fun stuff. It's been getting things sorted out and ready to go here. We're going to be doing a Babytooth and a TP3 build here. I've tried to prep some stuff that will be a little bit less annoying to watch. Some stuff I did not. Take a look at the chat here, see if anybody is saying anything yet. Appreciate everyone for stopping by today. What's up, Steve? How are you, man? So I guess we'll just go ahead and get started a little bit. I look a lot, my color balance is a lot off, that's for sure. I was having some green screen issues, but oh well. So we got the Babytooth frame here, and what I have done is just put the little screws in and stuff like that, kind of figured out which way I wanted it oriented. Stuck me a little battery pad on the bottom. And we're going to be mounting this baby up something like that. And the first thing I'm going to need to do so we can test out this puppy is we're going to have to put a quick XT30 on here real quick. So I will be working and looking at the live chat at the same time. Try to keep you guys as entertained as you can, because I'm sure there's cooler things than you could be doing tonight than watching me. But I am on call for work. The lady is working. So that's how New Year's Eves go when you're dorky and 43. Wait a minute. Yeah, 42. 43 this coming year, 2020. All right. I've also got some batteries charging back here. See how this works. I know a lot of people were questioning how would you charge these up, and they're just one cell batteries, so you should be able just to plug them into a balance board. You can see on my ISDT charger here the pack voltage of this, and then the voltage of those packs. How was everybody's last day of 2019? You've ordered the uni, and yeah, we're gonna build the TP3 uni body tonight, Steve. I've got that prepped back here under, well, kind of prepped right here. Let's see here. So, looking at this board here, gonna have to figure out which one is positive and negative, and it looks like, according to the diagram, the positive is the blue wire. Interesting choice, but okay. Guess it really doesn't matter which one's which. I'll need these. Where are my... I've got a disaster going on here, as you can tell. We are in full build mode. A little bit of solder on XT30 plug there on that side. Some heat shrink. Okay, besides a little bit of melted plastic, that looks good. I just know these live stream builds aren't the most exciting thing, but usually good for, there's a lot of people that are building these new that some people haven't really built a lot of drones, and so it might help out somebody to see all the little trials that you could run into when building something. Making sure you've got all the right tools that you need, all the right supplies. That wire won't take. Okay. Yeah, and smaller necessarily isn't harder in my experience, or more fiddly. I mean, it can be harder and more fiddly, but the biggest thing is just all the other little annoying things that you run into. Like, for example, I want to put this into Betaflight real quick because I want to see. Let me get rid of that. Yes, there we go. I want to see how this board is oriented and how the motor layouts are and everything before I go crazy with it. There's not really a lot of clear pictures. Alright, so it looks like, reset the Z-axis here. So it looks like the original board orientation is for it to be upside down. So we are going to invert that, which means that that is going to mess up our motor resources as well. I don't feel like breaking off plugs and desoldering wires and everything like that. So that's going to be a real tricky part. And I don't want to mount it inverted either, because then you're not going to be able to get to not going to be able to get to the USB port then. Do I run RPM filters? Yes, I do. RPM filters, in my opinion, are vital to these smaller quads. I think a lot of people have proven that. Mark Spatz has. A lot of the info that I've seen on the black box group, people that are black boxing these things, have kind of proven that. So I think, and normally I can hit all the pads I need to, even with my bigger tip. On this board here, and those pads are super small right here. With some light. See them? They're just wide enough for that. Let me turn off the autofocus on this camera, or that's going to drive us crazy. So I'm going to stop this charger and get all of this out of the way. So these batteries should have a little bit of charge for us now. And we're going to have to plug in the old ISDT charger. I typically do not like using this charger just because, I mean, soldering iron, I don't know why I'm calling it a charger. Typically don't like using it. Just do not solder it well with it. I'm used to a regular soldering iron and bigger tip. But yeah, I run the RPM filters on everything. All these little ones, and I've had a lot of good luck with it. I had no problems at all. So we're just going to put this puppy all the way up here. I think I'm just going to situate it here inside the frame a little bit. Hey, no problem, John. My pleasure, man. Hopefully you learned something out of here. So I've got some real skinny gauge solder. Just hit the camera with my head. What I'm doing is just lightly touching the edge of the pad. Then that is getting, that's heating up the little pad there. The last one on the corner next to the USB port is really tricky there. So let's see here. What do we have to, what do we got to solder up here? We have to solder up smart audio, camera, 5-volt, ground. And then there is one more pad. Right there that says BTX right here. I think I can turn this soldering iron down a little bit. All right. Those are not easy. All right, so what are we using on this? We are using a RUNCAM Nano 3 and a nameless VTX, which should be right here. There's our VTX. Our antenna. Some wires and heat shrink. Looks like the wires for that are pre-tinned, which is nice. Run on to the FPV Cycle website here and take a look at the manual. It's one good thing. Bob's got all the pictures on here. So 5-volt ground, receiver, and video. So 5-volt ground, receiver, and video. see if we can tape this down, or if I'm gonna have to find my blue tack. Where my blue tack is. Let's see, do I ever use Flux? Not really, not for these small builds. Flux just kind of bubbles up and makes a mess, in my opinion. But it really depends on how comfortable you are with soldering. You know, like I'm pretty comfortable. I would say that it's part of my job, but things that I actually have to solder these days is very few and far between. So it's pretty much just left up to this. So 5 volt. And yeah, he does run out of stock all the time. Okay. 5 volt ground, smart audio. And then video. Yeah, that wasn't too bad. All right, so on our board here, this is pretty much just going to lay on top of the flight controller up here. And that's the rear. So I think I'm going to solder this stuff to the bottom. I think that would be the best. So let me go back to the beta board pinout here. So we're looking at smart audio on the top, then the camera input. Let's see, so how are we going to power? So something's going to have to go to VBAT here, which will probably be this. BTX. Let me open another web page here. Camera. BTX is nameless RC. So it's 5 volts. I wonder what the camera runs off of. Cam Nano 3. All right, 3 to 5.5 volts. All right, so okay. So the camera will wire up to VBAT, and the VTX is going to have to go to the 5 volt. And I want this to go. This is going to be that way, and I want it to wrap around. So I like to do my soldering this way here. So the first wire is going to be smart audio, and that's way up here, right by these OSD pins. So you're going to have to be extremely careful that none of that gets bridged. So I got it there. Okay. Smart audio, and then camera input, I'm assuming. And then 5 volt and ground. So we're going to skip a wire. We're going to do our 5 volt right there. And then our ground, which is right down here by the USB. And then VTX is right here in the middle of this board, which is the easiest pad to get to. So that should be that. Get our little RUNCAM out of here. Hey, quit playing with that bag, girl. So we'll try to leave as much length on these things. Little wires, you can either try to tin them really short, or you can tin them a little bit longer than you need them and then cut them. That sometimes is helpful for people if you have problems soldering them. Everything looks good there. All right. So with the power, we're running this off of BBAT, 3 volts. So we're going to go ahead and tack these to the existing pre-soldered pads, which probably is my bigger iron here. Put some extra solder on there. So that's the battery pad there on top, and I just soldered that to the bottom. So this will be coming up and going into the B-brain mount. And then the camera input is all the way over here on the other side. And I'm pretty sure I want as much length as I can get. So I think what I'm going to do is come back around on this side. Make this as complicated as possible and tack that in right there. All right, and that should be it. Ah, my camera froze. Looks like my camera froze here, guys. That is a bummer. Yeah, we're building a Toothpick 2. All right, well, nobody wants to see me anyway, so that's fine. We're building a Babytooth here. We're building that right there. That is the plan. All right, so I want to check all of my connections real quick here. So we should have smart audio, camera in, 5-volt, ground, and then VTX is over here in the center. And then I have the camera being powered right here. This is the Babytooth 3-inch 1S build. So this is that ultralight one that Bob has been doing everything with online. So we're going to do a little continuity test here. Okay. Let's see here. It looks like we got everything wired up here. I mean, you can only do so much testing with this stuff. Really, the only way to go about it is just to fire it up and see what happens. You know, if we get some smoke, then we get some smoke. But according to my... probably can't hear a word I'm saying. According to my continuity tester, we look like we are good. So we got the little 1S battery here, getting ready for a plug-in, and don't want to plug it in that far. All right, I don't see any smoke. That's a good thing. Respan 5 because the VTX is unlocked. And we got a picture. So that's a good thing. So let's unlock this VTX real quick. And I think to unlock it, all the little stupid things that you got to do. To unlock it, I think just hold in the buttons, hold in the button, and then all the stuff just goes away. So where's the button at on this puppy? Where's the button? Oh, see, here's one of those tricky things. You have to set this thing up in Betaflight and set up a pip mode switch and unlock it 3 times. Always something. All right. Well, we know we got video and everything else is working. But so what should we do now? Should we just go ahead and build it and then go into Betaflight and play, or what? What do you guys want to do? Yeah, definitely F the FAA, that's for sure. I'm thinking what I'll go ahead and do is just, let's just build this thing up, and then I can clear some room on the bench a little bit. KTMJ, what's going on, man? All right, so we got the frame here. We got the B-brain mount going on. These are the motors, which I'm just going to plug in the motors. I'm not going to solder them. You guys can do whatever you want with your build. Everybody's going to say that you get some performance, and I'm sure you probably do. But that BETAFPV 115 that I have has plug-in motors. And the thing is, I mean, I don't know how they say that you could get any more performance or that you're losing performance. I really don't. So all right, where's my little bag of BETAFPV goodies? We can mount this up. Get this. I mean, this really, if I was organized for this instead of having shit everywhere, this would actually be all right. There it is. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. All this mess. Turn my iron off. Don't need that hot iron just back there smoking. Alright, so let's see. I think all we really need out of this bag is just going to be these flight controller grommets. And of course, they just slide into position. Nothing fancy about that. Then we're just gonna slide everything down here. Okay, there we go. The flight controller is mounted. Got my antenna right there. We got the camera and the VTX. And my two young girl cats are having a blast down here. All right. So there's the VTX ready to go. Now, camera. So what we got to do with this puppy is we need to remove some camera material here. Then I think I've worked this one a little bit, but we'll do it anyway. So you just kind of grab it and work the sides here. Work the top a bit. And then the Nano will pop right in. A little crooked. There we go. All right. Camera's in. Perfect. Do some motors. It looks like we've got, these are all the same size here. 1.5 driver. And then all we'll need to do is just plug it in. Which is easier said than done. Okay. One wire installed. One motor, that is. So it looks like we're going to have some annoying Betaflight stuff to do. We're going to have to remap motors. And we're going to have to do all that fun resource crap. But we will figure it all out together. These motors are pretty neat though, aren't they? Not having to solder motor wires is pretty cool. Definitely am not too upset about that. That is on the love list. Looks like these screws are just barely the right size to get in there and not touch the one set of winding that's coming down. All right, last one. We are almost there. Yeah. That's it. All the motors are installed. VTX is installed. Camera is installed. We should be good to go here. Alright, so let's
Welcome to OpenTX.
Let's get things
Switch
going
warning.
here. I want to copy that, move that to there.
Switch warning.
So let's get a bind first here, and I think the bind button is right there. So we can try doing it this way, or we can do the SPI. I think these are, I don't know if these are D16 or D8. Wow, look at all this weird stuff that comes pre-flashed on here. Jeez. Oh, that wasn't it. What is beta flight SPI bind CLI? Bind RX. Version does this have on it? 3.5.7. So bind RX SPI. Oh, what did that say? FR Sky bind. Binding. So we do got lights. So I typed that in, and now we've got lights going on here. So let me do that again. So I guess we go to save and then click the button and cycle power.
Telemetry lost. Telemetry recovered.
Oh, that sounds good. I think we got something going on here. Yep. We're good. We are good.
Telemetry lost. Telemetry recovered.
All right, now we're bound up. We've got a decision to make. Do we keep on proceeding and make everything run the way it is and use Kebab's PIDs, which he has listed here with Betaflight 357? Or do we try to just do something fancy? I think the best situation, so I can help people and we can help each other, is to just start with 357, which is fine by me, and then we can kind of figure out everything else later on. So I just changed some of the stuff here, and
Telemetry lost. Telemetry recovered.
we're going to have to do a few things here anyway. So let's just calibrate the accelerometer real quick. Ports set up for smart audio, so we're going to have to set up a PID switch for that, which is a big pain in the neck. Power and battery, pretty much leave those the same. Receiver, I don't seem to be getting RSSI for some reason. That's okay. Oh. Alright, so ARM, yes. Keeper. X3. Nope. Flip over after crash. Yes. And let's see, VTX pit mode. I need to add in another.
Telemetry lost. RSSI critical. Telemetry recovered.
Oh, these SPI receivers are annoying, that's for sure. That's probably going to be the worst part about this entire thing, is the SPI. Alright, any more chat? No? Okay, so I've got the switch set up there in Betaflight. So now I think what we'll do is we'll try to unlock this VTX and just get that out of the way. One thing at a time.
Telemetry lost.
So if we go back to the instructions say to unlock, please enter pit mode for 3 times within 30 seconds after powering up. The 3 LEDs will flash one by one if VTX is successful to unlock. Repower after this step. So we're going to want to see these lights on here flash around a little bit. So within 30 seconds. So I'm just going to plug in a battery.
Telemetry recovered.
And I guess I'm just going to keep on trying to take it in and out of pit mode. And I think that see. I think that might have worked. You guys see that screen all right? Let's see if we can go into the OSD, features, tramp. Baseband 1, set.
Telemetry lost. Telemetry recovered.
Doesn't look like that worked because I think we are on, yep, we're on race band 5. All right. Gonna have to try it again.
Telemetry lost. Telemetry recovered.
Oh, it said the power cycle, it didn't it? Let's see if that works now. Race band 1 set. Yes.
Telemetry
No.
lost. Telemetry recovered.
Did not work. All right.
Telemetry lost. Telemetry recovered.
So I saw it do a bunch of blinking. So let's try again.
Telemetry lost. Telemetry recovered. Telemetry lost. Telemetry recovered.
No. Well, so you can see we're already at our first annoying part here. All right. Please enter pit mode for 3 times within 30 seconds. Pit mode is set up in beta flight mode page. 3 LEDs will flash one by one if successful to unlock. Let's just go back into beta flight, make sure we have our pit switch set up correctly, and the UART was already set up for Oh. No wonder. It was set up
Telemetry lost. Telemetry recovered.
for smart audio and not tramp. What does this one use? It is tramp protocol, I believe. RC Tramp Smart Audio. All right.
Telemetry lost.
Let's try this again.
Telemetry recovered.
1, 2, 3. Unplug, replug.
Telemetry lost. Telemetry recovered.
Features, Tramp, baseband 1, set, yes. Power, set, yes. Hmm. No, nothing's doing anything.
Telemetry lost. Telemetry recovered.
Oh, the most annoying parts of builds. But this is important for everybody out there. I mean, all 3 are lit up.
Telemetry lost. Telemetry recovered.
We're still on race band 5 though. Any suggestions, guys? Test everybody's troubleshooting here.
Telemetry lost.
Only thing I could think of is that maybe we need to be on
Telemetry lost. Telemetry recovered.
Old head and away. I think we got it that time. I'm being optimistic.
Telemetry lost. Telemetry recovered.
Oh yeah, look, because the channel's changed. Yes. Okay. We got lucky. We got her. We are unlocked now, which means that we can go to full power. Yeah, put that VTX in the trash. Yeah, no kidding. See, these are all of the things that... This is why builds are important. And I mean, some people like build videos, in my opinion. Like, this is the important stuff that we have to deal with now. It's not just trying to figure this out or how to mount this or solder that. It's the stupid stuff like this that you have to deal with. So some people would have just given up on that and said that the VTX is broke or something else. But what do you expect for something called Nameless for 13 bucks? I'm gonna have to go upstairs real quick, guys, and get my backup set of batteries here for the power play. I could use this little ethics thing too, I guess, but power play is just nicer. So give me 1 second and then we'll come back and I guess we will get into Betaflight setup, because I'm pretty sure we're going to have to reorientate this and play with motor stuff. Hopefully what I can do is get a good CLI dump of everything with all the Bob settings and everything else and the way this is built, and post that. All right, I am back. Got some fresh batteries for the power play. Now we'll get into Fun stuff. By the way, the power play and HDO2 combo is just fantastic. It's flying Dominator V2s since they came out and finally did the upgrade. Man, oh man, what a difference. Jeez. All right. Gonna plug this baby into Betaflight. And let's see which way we're spinning here first. So the hell? I think what we need to do is roll at 180. Let's see what we're looking at. Okay, that looks right. Let's go to the motors and let's just fire up motor 1. And that's all wrong, as I suspected. Resource. So now we get to make one of those cool little charts that everybody sees. So right now, motor 1 is on B10. Number 2 is on B06. Number 3 is B07. And number 4 is B08. Exit out of here. So this is the front facing this way. So this should be 1, 2, 3, and 4. So when I hit motor 1, motor 3 is spinning up. So that's at B07. So that needs to be motor 1. Motor 2. Number 4 is spinning up. So that needs to be number 2. Motor 3 is motor 1. So that needs to be there. And then the last one by process of elimination will be number 4. So if we go to set, I can't remember what it is. Resource, motor 1 needs to be B07. Okay. Resource motor 2 B08. Motor 3 B10. And resource 4 B06. Let's see what that gets us. Connect. Motors. I understand. Motor 1's doing nothing. Motor 2 is doing nothing. 3 is doing nothing. And number 4 is doing nothing. Oh, of course it wasn't doing anything. Didn't have a battery plugged in. Duh. Real life mistakes here. Important stuff. Alright, now let's see. Motor 1. Are we spinning? Yes. Motor 2. Yes. Motor 3. Yes. Motor 4. Yes. John, what do I think about the DJI system? I think I really want it, but I'm still kind of on the fence, man. I really don't. I'm not going to say that I'm not going to fly any 5-inch quads anymore, but I'm having such a good time with these micros and stuff that I really don't care right now. Alright, so I'm going to run... Do I want to run props out or props in? I want to run props out. I always run props out on all the rest of my stuff. So let me click on that real quick. And let's find out what motors that I need to reverse. So this one's good. That one's coming in. That one's good. So we need to reverse 1 and 4. And since we are using plugs, we're gonna have to go old school style. I'm just gonna pull up the old fashioned, this one. Setup. So what did I say? 1 and 4. Reverse. Reverse. Right setup. Okay, disconnect. When Betaflight back up. Connect. Motors. Master. You guys didn't see that. All I did was open the old style Chrome app BL Heli configurator and changed my motor directions. All right, so we'll connect back up to Betaflight here. And I am going to, this is way off, so I'm going to recalibrate the accelerometer. And that is working how everything should. We've got our port set up correctly. Our configuration is all good. We rolled the board 180 degrees. We'll leave everything else the way it is. Air mode is on. PID tuning. All right, let's just go ahead and copy in all of Bob's stuff. So he's running 120, 45, and 85, and 0 on feed forward, 130, 50, 90, 0. Rarely take anybody's PIDs, but let's do it and see what happens. Don't really care. Anti-gravity, smooth, smooth. I-term relax, gyro. I-term rotation, throttle boost. So he says here to leave everything else is default, if not listed. Let's go into the rates. He says he's using a TPA of 0.3 with a break point of 1640. We'll try out his rates in a bank. And then I'll change my own too. You can see that this board had like total whoop stuff on there. Uh-oh. Gonna have to mute you guys for a second here. This might be work. All right. Sorry about that. I'm going to go through and turn on some stuff here. All right, so important thing to remember is that this board was flashed with all of that. Hopefully you guys could see that it was flashed with like all of this crazy stuff from whatever it was, like the Acro B or whatever, blah blah blah. So make sure you go through and turn all that stuff off. It was in sensors and it was just all kinds of stuff.
Welcome to OpenTX. Switch warning.
So I put in all of, we'll connect up again just to go through it again real quick with everybody. So what we've had to do is I've flipped the board because I have my connectors going up, and let me show you what that looks like real quick so everybody knows that we're on the same page. So this is the front of the craft here. So the board is flipped and I have it so I can get to the USB. So what I've had to do is, the first thing you'll have to do is change this to Tramp instead of Smart Audio. Most people have seen that. Just running the standard configuration on everything. There is a lot of stuff in here that you'll have to get rid of. PIDs, I went ahead and changed that stuff. These are Bob's rates. I'm going to put in my rates. Don't know how this thing is going to fly, so I guess we'll find out. And so those are all of his rates and PIDs. He's using default filtering. The receiver is set up. I've got my deadband set up. Everything's working on that. Modes, there's my 3 modes. I got rid of that pit mode because I don't use pit mode at all. Adjustments, you needed to turn this off. The head FPV angle mix set up in there since this came flashed for a whoop. And then we went into CLI and changed and remapped all of our motors. This is the OSD that I'm running, which everything looks like it is looking pretty good there. There's no black box. There is one thing that we'll have to... Okay, so iTerm Relax cutoff is already set to 11. So that's good.
Telemetry lost. Telemetry recovered.
And all of the motor directions and everything are right. We had to go into the BL Heli configurator and flip a couple of those. So this thing should be ready. This thing should be ready for flight. So I think what we'll do right now is just go ahead and finish the build here. Maybe I can go in the other room and do like a test hover just to make sure everything works okay. So here's our little antenna. Still not sure what we're going to do about that. And that's the rear. So I'm going to put a little bit of VHB tape down just for some extra protection. Even though I have this shrink wrapped and stuff like that, I don't want that shrink wrap burning through everything. Wow, been going for an hour and 45 minutes. It's a long time, guys. Appreciate everybody sticking with me and all of that. We've learned quite a bit. It's not as simple as just throw it all together. We've seen that there's a lot more on the software side, really, than anything else. And I'm going to stick that down pretty good just because I don't want that flopping around and messing up our gyro. I think I put too many fingerprints on it. It's not sticking very well. You get on there. There we go. All right. So now we literally just need to put the camera on there, and that's it. Now to make this B-brain mount not be so crazy tight, I like to ream these holes out just a tad with a hobby knife. If not, it's kind of a pain in the butt to get it maneuvering around. I probably could have went with the shorter screws, but I decided to do the long ones. Check my flight controller gummies. It looks like this one's a little lopper-jawed, but that should be okay. And of course our antenna is going to come up like that. And I'll put the SPI antenna sticking straight up. Did I change my arm angle to 180? Yeah, it already was set to 180, but you definitely will want to do that. But these boards look like they were already pre-flashed for whoops.
Inactivity alarm.
Whoop. Hush. Where's my other electrical tape? Oh, I know where it's at. I don't have any of that fancy cloth tape that everybody uses these days. So I'm gonna have to pick some of that up. So just taping down these motor wires here. A little final cleanup. Pretty excited. All in all, it was a pretty easy build. Just like building a slightly bigger whoop. That wasn't bad at all. I'm excited to get it on the scales here and see what the weight's looking like. Should come in the lower 50s with the battery. Even though I didn't direct solder the wires. But as I said earlier, I have no problem with that because my Beta 115 wires are not direct soldered, and that thing is just a screamer on 3S. I can't imagine how much better it could be, even though it probably is a little bit better. But We'll worry about that later. Okay. All of the motor wires are there. Now, let's secure this VTX antenna a little bit better. I'm just going to wrap a piece of tape right around. She doesn't have to be pretty, she just needs to fly. Then we've got the SPI antenna right there. I think I'm gonna unplug that motor wire and put that down there. That'll basically work as a zip tie, so I won't have to use zip tie. Plug that back in. And turn out very good looking. There we go. Hey, there I am.
Welcome to OpenTX. Warning.
It runs. I mean, everybody's going to want to know if it flies, right? I want to know. Unfortunately, we can't go outside, but I am in a room here. I just need to watch out for animals. Make sure none of my kitties are around. Need one more of those. All right. Let's do something fun here. It's always fun to watch maidens. You never know what's going to happen. All right, we're going to arm it here and see what happens. Rocking front to back and left and right. And we're flying. How about those apples? I built something live on camera that flies perfectly. Sweet. So that's it. That is the Babytooth build. And it weighs 58.9 grams. I think bobs are coming in around 53, 54. So I guess I'm gaining a little weight from the little battery pad. And I don't know, the thicker rubber band. I mean, this is what it is. I think it's going to be just fine. Oh yeah, I'm using plugs too.
Battery lost.
It sounded really nice and quiet and really good though. That is it right there. I probably can get rid of that big monstrous rubber band though. But we'll just leave it there anyway. And we'll call her good. Because we still have another ship to build here tonight. Got to take advantage of this time off and all that good stuff. Where is my balance board? There it is. Get these batteries charged up. So what's going on out there in comment land? I don't see much going on. Are you guys watching other stuff, building stuff? What's happening? Nope. All right, who's ready for the Toothpick 3 unibody frame build? This baby right here. So we learned an awful lot on that build, what we had to do to get everything running the right way. So let's see. For this build, we've got Crossfire, Unify, Pro Nano 32, Mamba, listening as you're driving down to Cincinnati. Oh man. We had some snow up here today. I think it got as south as Columbus. Thinking about building one. I definitely would say yes, build one, but if you do not want to build one, the Beta non-HD HX 115 is fantastic, and I enjoy flying it as much as I do my Toothpick builds, and it is very, very close to Bob's specifications. The only difference is the motor size is a little bit outside of what he enjoys, but as he notes in many of his videos, it's very small distinction that a lot of people might not know or realize. The Beta, I have it upstairs. It's a great quad. I really like it. I'm not gonna lie. If I had to spend the money again and I could only pick one, I probably would just buy the Beta. And then when you want to, you can always switch out motors. And they have them on Amazon, like $140 or something like that. You don't need to do anything to it. Bind and fly with Crossfire or FR Sky or Spectrum. Crossfire one's a little bit more expensive. I got a pretty good video about it that I did, and I got a link to it at the top of my description if you want to take a look at it. Oh, that is an affiliate link if you want to hook a brother up. All right. So let's do some quick motor prep here. When it comes to the Toothpick motors, I just kind of take a little bit and chop it off. Probably a little bit more than that. Should be good. Then I'll just hold this one up to there. Don't need to be super precise, because we'll be rubber banding these and tying these anyway and all that good stuff. Again. I mean, the only reason why I'm building another one of these is because you know how this quad game is. 1 is none, and 2 is 1, and 3 is whatever. That how that goes. Maybe we hit a max of 12 viewers tonight. That's not too bad. I think that first build was definitely a very good experience for everybody, though. Because there's definitely some things on there that you will have to do and work through. So that's always good. All right, let's tin up these wires here real quick. And then we'll get to building this. This one shouldn't take that long at all either, since I've already built one and we're not using the DVR in this build. We're just going straight BTX and camera. With the power play, I just don't see the need. Does a good enough job, and it's 60 frames a second. Not the 30 from the nameless DVR. Now you know why I like those motor connectors so much. Saves you a few extra steps. All right. Motors tinned up. And we got the VTX Mamba stack, whatever, ready to go here. So let's just dump everything out, see what we got. Got a capacitor that we're gonna need. We're gonna need some power wire. 18 gauge because the Mamba does not come with it. About that much. Alright, so let's go ahead and tin these up and put the XT30 on here. That around. Right. Viewers keep on dropping. Things must be getting not very exciting here. We are doing all the boring stuff here. Oh, come on. Okay. hobby knife here, scrape off some of this good stuff here on the capacitor, so that way it'll take solder better. Which they still never do. But, oh well. Let's see, that side's negative, this side's positive. How's that looking there? I really like the way that lined up. So we're gonna have to put some more heat to that thing and get it in the right spot. All right, solid. You guys, this is the unibody Toothpick 3 build. We've already done the Babytooth build, so if you're interested in checking that out, go ahead and start the beginning of the stream. Learned a lot of good information on that build that will be important to a lot of you. My head might be in the way here. Okay. Got that all wired up. Now let's go ahead and put in some flight controller grommets. That one, we want these big thick ones here. using them on the other one. One broke. Don't want broken gummies. We want them intact. One more. This one's the hard one to get in because of the T30 power connector. But we'll get it. Wiggle it in there. Okay. Boom. We're good. We're good. We are good. We are good. That is how that bad boy will go. Which, yep, how that's gonna go. Let's just do some motors. Boring stuff out of the way. By the way, these compared to the Oxys Amaxinos right there, the FPV cycle ones. I don't know which ones I like better, the black and gold or the FPV cycle. I don't know. They're both okay. There's motor, right? It was pretty sad to hear Bob say that they were having quality issues with those, which is why they moved to this company here, whoever is making these motors. So I guess isn't a super surprise. Said that the shafts were breaking internally. My other toothpick build that's already done has developed a weird issue. I'm not 100% sure if it is a motor or an ESC, but it has developed like a weird kicking issue. So I've been playing around with figuring out what's up with that. Haven't had a big chance to figure it out yet, just because the weather hit and everything got pretty bad. Snow today. Payback for having such a great last week of December and Christmas time. But we'll see how this build goes. This build will be lighter. And we'll have a better VTX. It'll have all the goodies running on it too, just like the other one. So I'll pretty much just take my CLI dump that I have and we'll load up RPM filtering on here and all that stuff. Now, somebody asked about that earlier, and yes, I'm a big believer in it, especially with these smaller builds. We don't have black box on these, so we don't have a real way to know what's going on inside of our quad. So it's good to have something that at least can kind of help us figure that out. I definitely left these motor wires too long. That's all right. Figure it out. Yeah, we'll figure it out. That'll look fine. It is what it is. These things are fun little basher quads. They're not shelf queens. And we're just soldering up the last two motors here. Then we'll get into installing components. All right, boom. One new complete set of FPV cycle motors. All of them are freewheeling, so we don't have any contacts touching each other. So let's see, what should we do now? We've got the Unify Pro 32, which is going to go on back of the RUNCAM NANO. And we have the Crossfire with the Mini T. So I want my Crossfire mounted there. So let's go ahead and get it all mounted up. So the pads for Crossfire are right there. So if I want to just go ahead and make them super short, and then I can mount that right there. This is for smart audio. So I need to keep that. And I think video actually is... Oh no, this isn't video. This is Crossfire. Duh. So that gonna be like that. I'm actually charging up my Babytooth batteries right now as we speak, so we can be ready to rock and roll tomorrow. Hi, Smudge. Hi, kitty. Hi. Definitely the shortest little wires I think I've ever soldered up for a Crossfire. I need the ground to be that long. So we're gonna heat shrink this puppy. Oh, come on. Want that 5-volt wire getting stuck in there. All right. Oops. Let's go ahead and crank this down. What are you doing? Are you coming up here to see me? Okay, so we've got TX, RX, all that good stuff. I'm trying to remember. I always forget. Yes. Crossfire, NANO. I always forget which way it goes. So channel 1 goes to the RX and channel 2 goes to the TX. It's actually going to work better if I do it this way. Probably shouldn't have made these so short, but sure will make everything clean. So let's just do it and see what happens. So there's our ground. Gonna be that way. Five volt. And then what did I say? Channel 1 to RX. Yeah, channel 1 to RX. Right there, sweet. And then channel 2 TX. Nice. Doesn't get any. That's about perfect. And I can just kind of bend that back out of the way when I need to service it or whatever. We'll take a tiny piece of DHB, stick on there. Just go ahead, plunk that down there so we're not covering nothing up. Little Immortal T is going to go right under there. Nice. Okay, I like the way that worked out. That was sweet. All right, camera time. Gonna have to cut back some of this camera protection on the B-brain mount. Cut some of that back, and then we're gonna ream these holes out a little bit so they go on our standoffs easier. In case you'd never seen this before, probably want to do this on the Babytooth just now, or about an hour ago when we finished up that first build. Now we need to stretch this out for the RUNCAM Nano 3. Sounds silly, but it works perfect. Okay, these are wires need to be fixed real quick because I took this off of another build. Couple shots of solder. Alright, I need to pin out for the Unified Pro 32. See which one of those is the right 5-volt in and ground, and then 5-volt out. And ground. Okay, so there is Unify Pro Nano all set up and ready to go. This is my smart audio wire. I need to join it with this, which is the smart audio wire coming off of the Crossfire Nano. Again, guys, welcome to the stream. Working on a unibody Toothpick 3 right now. This is the Babytooth frame in 3mm. I've already built a Babytooth 2mm 1S 3-inch build earlier tonight. Did a lot of good stuff on that one. There's a lot of hidden info in there that you need to know about as far as motor remapping and all that kind of stuff. So if you're looking at the live stream late here and you're interested in building one of those, highly suggest you go back and look at that, and you can see how to do everything in real time. No edits, cuts, nothing like that. It should help you out. Okay, so the smart audio wire is now joined. Put a little heat shrink on that. This will be built pretty much in a matter of minutes. So let's see, let's get the VTX hooked up first here. So need some stuff on the wires. We had to attend a lot of wires tonight. 2 builds in a row. Okay, so now we're just going to wire up this VTX. We're going ground. Five volt. Video in from the camera. Goes right there. These short wires, everything is getting tight. And video out from the VTX. Whew. All right. Made it home. Thanks for the company. Hey, Happy New Year to you, FPV trucker. Thanks for watching, man. Alright, now to make the magic happen. Let's get this RUNCAM stuffed in here. Boom, boom. That's in there. Now we're going to put a layer of VHB on the back of the well, we don't even need it. We'll do take a piece here. Just stuff it in there for good measure. Just for good measure. And then the Unify will just be Velcroed there on the back. So let me get this camera mounted first. Nice. Well, I hope this all works out. I don't want to have to take it all back apart again. But I'm loving the way that all looks right there. That looks really good to me. I like this look better than what I have in my other one. Should be considerably lighter too. Doesn't look like we have any bad stuff going on as far as shorts or any of that kind of nonsense. But you never know until you try. I didn't get my little spacer in there that I wanted. See how this goes. Power. And turn on the power play. Ah. And we got video. How about that, guys? Some good stuff. Right. I am pumped. Ugh. Let's go into beta flight here. Check this out. Actually, what we're going to do, we're going to disconnect that one. And since I already have one, that's rocking and rolling right here. We're just going to do a CLI dump. Flash that other one. Put RPM filtering on it. And we'll be good. CLI dump. That'll set up my OSD and everything. So now let's plug in to the new one. And what does this board have on it? Don't want to connect. What are you doing to me? There we go. Test 357. Nope. On by F411, diatone. Load firmware online. Flash firmware. What's going on out there in the chat, man? Anybody alive out there? Hey, have any good jokes or something? It's New Year's Eve. Come on. For over 3 hours on this live stream. It's probably why nobody's talking. Everybody's probably asleep. Alright, let's connect. We'll just hit apply custom defaults to get rid of that. The CLI. And keep going, keep going. Copy that all. Paste it. I think I did that twice. So who knows what we're going to get. We might have to do this again. Save. Connect. We're going to have to calibrate the accelerometer. That looks all good. Ports. Turn that off because we're using Crossfire. So we'll save and reboot that. Configuration. Got everything set up for everything that we need there. For RPM filtering, we're just going to have to flash that. We're going to leave those PIDs in for now. We'll leave that we'll leave all that filtering on there too. Let's check our Crossfire and make sure
Welcome to OpenTX.
it is all working.
Switch warning. Switch warning.
Plug in a battery. And it looks like we have everything working there. Expert modes, check out our modes. Beeper, flip over after crash, arm. Our OSD is all set up. Okay. So now we're going to have to RPM filter this thing. Turn my VTX power down. Read setup.
Telemetry lost.
We're gonna need a little bit more juice here.
Telemetry recovered.
Then the 1S. Reading my ESCs.
Telemetry lost. Telemetry recovered.
What is going on? Read setup. Come on. You're not just showing me anything here. Oh, technology. Connect. Battery is plugged in. Read setup. Maybe I have to turn it off first.
Telemetry lost.
Solder joints look good there. We got a bum motor. Maybe this one wire needs to be adjusted. Some more real life troubleshooting going on here. This is good stuff. Maybe that fixed it, maybe it didn't.
Telemetry recovered. Inactivity alarm. Inactivity alarm. Inactivity alarm.
Well, I'm not sure exactly what happened there, but it is it's working now. Got to check out for these licenses real quick. Yeah, I don't know what was going on. Must have had some kind of COM port issue or something like that. All right, we're gonna activate ESCs. And now we're going to flash all with 48K early access. So I did not do this on Babytooth. So I really want to see how it runs with Bob's PIDs and everything like that. So that might help people out a little bit more if we're running something that's consistent and people have problems and they watch my build video. But we are on the home stretch here. We should be test hovering here in less than 10-15 minutes. Okay, that's all done now. We are going to now flash telemetry on all of them. We'll still probably have to come back in here and fix motor directions. Unless you're one of the people that likes to solder and desolder wires. Da, 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 da. All right, go back into bait flight. Go to motors. Oh, we need to go in configuration and turn it back on. 1 and 3 need reversed. Back into beta flight here. Connect back up. Going to motors. Don't see no errors. So we'll call it good. So now we just need a little cleanup. So I'm going to zip tie this power lead down. I think. That'll work. Now, I guess I'll clean up these motor wires here real quick. Before I zip tie down the mini Immortal. Oh. Hmm. Don't really like the way these wires look, but I can always come back and shorten them. Okay. Oh, I should have put my rubber band on first. Oh well, we can do that still. All right. Another toothpick build. This one with all TBS stuff. No nameless DVR on this one. $102.87 compared to 104.13. So even with all of that work for shorter wires and everything, we barely saved 2.5 grams. But you know what? That's all right. I'll take it. I will take it.
Welcome to OpenTX. Switch warning.
There is all of our USB stuff, which Gonna be change that real fast because drive me crazy. Go into Betaflight real quick. That. Rid of the VTX channel. Save. Upload our font to Impact Mini. What are we at? 3.67 volts. So we barely got enough on this battery for a test hover. I'm not going to say that I'm very comfortable with doing a test hover inside here with this one on 3S. But it hovers. It's not going to the ceiling, so that's a good thing, right? Of course, it did go on a little dive there, but we won't count that. That's it. That's going to be the live stream. 2 quads built. Thanks for everybody for watching.